Your mind is either your greatest ally or your biggest enemy. These words hold a truth so simple, yet so powerful. The mind is the starting point of everything in your life. It controls your actions, your decisions, your success, and yes, even your failures. But too often, we let our minds become the very thing that holds us back, the very thing that limits our potential. The truth is, the most dangerous enemies we face are not the obstacles we see with our eyes. They are the thoughts we entertain and the habits we form. The small, seemingly insignificant things we do every day have the power to shape our future, for better or for worse. Doubt, fear, procrastination, these are the silent killers of progress. And what's worse is, most of the time, we don't even realize they're in control. But here's the good news. You have the power to change this. Every single one of us has the ability to challenge the negative thoughts that limit us and replace them with the kind of thinking that drives success. It's not a matter of talent or luck. It's about making a conscious decision to take control of the enemy inside your own mind. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the invisible battles we fight every day. The battles that happen in our minds. You'll discover how doubt makes you lose before you even begin. How small bad habits slowly destroy your future, and how your mind repeats whatever you feed it. More importantly, you'll learn how to fight back. You'll learn how to recognize these enemies for what they are, and take action to eliminate them. This is not just about motivation. It's about taking practical steps to free yourself from the mental chains that hold you back. If you're ready to stop letting your thoughts control you and start controlling your thoughts, then you're in the right place. It's time to unlock your true potential. Let's start number 1. Doubt makes you lose before you even start. The moment you doubt yourself, you've already lost. Not because you lack ability, not because you aren't good enough, but because doubt stops you before you even begin. It convinces you to hesitate, to second-guess every move, to play it safe. And while you sit there, stuck in your thoughts, someone else with half your talent but twice your courage is out there making progress. Doubt is a silent killer. It doesn't announce itself loudly. It sneaks in, whispering thoughts that make you question yourself. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I embarrass myself? And before you even take the first step, you're already retreating. You convince yourself it's better to wait, better to prepare more, better to get everything perfect first. And then what happens? Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and suddenly, years have gone by, and you're still standing in the same place. Think back to a time in your life when doubt stopped you. Maybe it was a big opportunity, a job, a relationship, a chance to start something new. Maybe you wanted to speak up in a meeting, share an idea, take a risk. But instead of acting, you hesitated. You let the moment pass, and then came the regret. That feeling of knowing you could have done something, but you didn't. That's the cost of doubt. It steals your future, one hesitation at a time. And the worst part, the more you give in to doubt, the stronger it becomes. It's like a muscle. You feed it with inaction, and it grows. Every time you tell yourself, I'm not ready, doubt takes another step forward. Every time you say, I'll do it later, doubt digs in deeper, until one day it's so strong that you start doubting everything. Your abilities, your choices, your entire life. And then you're stuck, trapped in a cycle of fear and hesitation while others move forward. But here's the truth. Doubt is an illusion. It feels real, but it's not. It's just a thought that only has power if you believe it. And once you understand that, everything changes. Because the key to overcoming doubt isn't to wait until you feel confident. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after. Think about that. Most people believe they need confidence first, before they can act. But that's not true. The truth is, confidence is built through action, through doing, through proving to yourself that you are capable. You don't wait until you feel ready. You act. And then the readiness comes. Look at anyone who has succeeded in life. Do you think they never had doubts? Of course they did. The difference is they didn't let doubt stop them. They moved forward despite the fear, despite the uncertainty. They understood that the only way to silence doubt is through action. So how do you break free from doubt? How do you stop it from controlling your life? The answer is simple. Take action. Immediate action. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. Even if it's a small step, take it. Because the second you do, doubt starts to lose its grip. The second you prove to yourself that you can move forward, even while feeling uncertain, doubt begins to fade. Think about a time in your life when you doubted yourself, but you pushed through anyway. Maybe it was speaking in front of a group. Maybe it was applying for a job you didn't think you'd get. Maybe it was starting something new. You were nervous. You weren't sure if you could do it, but you did it. And what happened? You realized it wasn't as bad as you thought. That's how you beat doubt. Not by thinking your way out of it, but by acting your way out of it. You might be thinking, but what if I fail? Good. Fail. Because failure is not the enemy. Doubt is. Failure teaches you. It builds you. It moves you forward. But doubt keeps you stuck. It robs you of experience. It keeps you from even trying. And if you don't try, you've already lost. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, stop. It doesn't exist. If you're waiting to feel ready, stop. You never will. The only way to be ready is to start before you feel ready. The only way to win is to step forward, even when you're scared. The people who change their lives are not the ones who wait until the fear is gone. They are the ones who act despite the fear. They take the leap, even when their hands are shaking. They understand that courage is not the absence of doubt. It's moving forward in spite of it. So here's what you need to do right now. Think about the thing you've been avoiding, the thing you've been putting off, because doubt told you that you weren't good enough. And take one step toward it. Just one. Because that single step could be the beginning of a completely different life. Doubt will always be there. It never fully goes away. But it doesn't have to control you. You have a choice. You can listen to doubt, let it hold you back, let it convince you to stay where you are. Or you can act. You can move forward. You can take control of your future. The only way to lose is to never start. The only way to fail is to let doubt win. So don't take action right now and prove to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts. Because once you do, nothing will ever stop you again. Number 2. Small bad habits are slowly destroying your future. Most people don't see it happening. They don't realize it's the little things, the everyday choices, the small habits they repeat without thinking. That's what's slowly destroying their future. Not the big mistakes, not one terrible decision, but the small daily actions that seem harmless in the moment. That's what steals success. Little by little, until one day you wake up and wonder where all the time went, why your dreams feel so far away, and why life hasn't turned out the way you thought it would. It starts so quietly, hitting the snooze button a few too many times, skipping the gym just for today, telling yourself you'll start that project tomorrow, spending hours scrolling through your phone instead of working on your goals, eating junk food instead of something that fuels your body, putting off reading that book that could change the way you think. It all seems small, doesn't it? Too small to matter. But that's exactly the problem. The biggest damage happens when you don't even notice it. Bad habits don't destroy your future overnight. They don't come crashing into your life like some big disaster. No, they work in silence. They build up slowly, day after day, creeping into your routine, making you comfortable, making you lazy, making you believe it's okay because it's just a little thing. And then one day you look back and realize years have passed, and you're no closer to the life you wanted. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? How many times have you let a bad habit slide because it's just this once? But it's never just once, is it? Once becomes twice, twice becomes a week becomes a month. And before you know it, that bad habit isn't a choice anymore. It's who you are. And here's the scary part. Bad habits are so much easier to build than good ones. Why? Because they require no effort. It's easy to sit on the couch instead of working out. It's easy to waste hours watching TV instead of learning something new. It's easy to eat unhealthy food instead of making a better choice. But just because something is easy doesn't mean it's good for you. In fact, the easiest things are often the ones that keep you stuck. Success, growth, improvement. These things don't come from doing what's easy. They come from doing what's necessary. They come from having the discipline to break bad habits before they break you. And if you think it doesn't matter, let me tell you something. Your future is being built right now, in the small choices you make every single day. Take a moment and really think about where your life is heading. If you keep doing what you're doing right now, where will you be in 5 years? Will you be closer to your goals, or will you be stuck in the same place, making the same excuses, living the same life? Because here's the truth. Your future is not a mystery. It's not something that just happens to you. It's something you create. And you're creating it right now, in this very moment. with the habits you follow every day. So if you're stuck in bad habits, you need to wake up. You need to take control. You need to stop letting little things steal your future. Because the more you let them slide, the harder it becomes to change. The more you give in to bad habits, the more they control you. And if you think you'll just fix everything later, let me tell you something. Later is an illusion. Later never comes. The only time you have is right now. So stop waiting. Stop pretending that your bad habits don't matter. They do. They are shaping your life, whether you realize it or not. But here's the good news. Just as bad habits can destroy your future, good habits can build it. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you take one step closer to success. Every time you wake up early instead of hitting snooze, you build self-control. Every time you read instead of scrolling mindlessly, you feed your mind. Every time you push through when you don't feel like it, you strengthen your willpower. You don't need to make huge changes overnight. That's not how it works. But you do need to start making better choices today, right now. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you take back control. Think about one bad habit that's been holding you back, just one, and decide right now to stop feeding it, to break it, to replace it with something that moves you forward. Because if you don't, if you keep telling yourself it's not a big deal, one day you're going to wake up and realize that your future is gone, stolen by the little things you thought didn't matter. So don't wait, don't put it off. Start now, because the habits you build today will determine the life you live tomorrow. Number 3, thinking too much is worse than failing. Overthinking is the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't strike suddenly. It sneaks up on you, little by little, until one day you realize you've spent more time thinking about your goals than actually doing anything about them. Thinking too much is worse than failing because when you fail, at least you tried. At least you gained experience. At least you moved forward. But when you sit there, trapped in your own thoughts, playing out every possible scenario, analyzing every little detail, convincing yourself that you need more time, more information, more certainty, you're not moving. You're stuck. And being stuck is worse than failing. Because failing means you're learning. Being stuck means you're wasting time. Most people don't even realize they're overthinking. They call it planning. They call it preparing. They say they're waiting for the right moment, the perfect conditions, the best strategy. But the truth is, they're scared. Scared of making the wrong choice. Scared of looking foolish. Scared of stepping into the unknown. And that fear keeps them in the same place, day after day, thinking instead of doing. Have you ever sat down with an idea, something exciting, something you really wanted to do, and instead of taking action, you spend hours, maybe even days, just thinking about it, imagining how it could go wrong, worrying about what other people might say, convincing yourself that you're not ready yet, and before you know it, that excitement fades. The energy you had to start, it disappears, and you tell yourself, I'll do it later, but later never comes. Because the next time you think about it, you overthink again, and the cycle repeats. The mind is powerful. It can push you forward, or it can hold you back. And if you don't control it, if you don't break free from the endless loop of analysis and doubt, you will never move. You will never grow. You will never experience what's possible for you. You will just think, and thinking alone has never built anything. Action is the only way to get results, even if you don't have all the answers, even if you're not sure how things will turn out, even if you're afraid of failing. Because let me tell you something, failure is not the enemy. Thinking too much is. Because when you fail, you learn, you adjust, you improve, you try again. But when you sit there, trapped in your own thoughts, waiting for everything to be perfect, nothing happens. Time passes, opportunities slip away, and the only thing you gain is regret. Have you ever seen someone less talented than you, less skilled than you, less prepared than you, go out and succeed while you're still sitting there, thinking about your next move? It's not because they're better, it's because they took action. They made mistakes, but they kept going. They figured things out as they moved forward instead of waiting for some magical moment of absolute certainty. And here's the truth, you will never feel fully ready. You will never have all the answers before you start. There will always be risks. There will always be unknowns. But the difference between people who succeed and people who stay stuck is simple. Successful people start before they feel ready. They take action, even when they're uncertain. They know that waiting is more dangerous than failing. So if you've been thinking about something for too long, If you've been holding yourself back, convincing yourself that you need more time, stop, make a decision. Take the first step. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be something. Because once you start, momentum builds. And when momentum builds, fear fades, confidence grows. And suddenly you're not just thinking about doing something, you're actually doing it. You don't need another day of planning. You don't need more time to think. What you need is action, right now. Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. And before you know it, you'll be looking back at your life, wondering where all the time went, wishing you had started sooner. So don't let overthinking steal your future. Don't let it keep you stuck in a cycle of doubt and hesitation. Take action today. Because even if you fail, you're still moving forward. And moving forward is always better than standing still. Number 4. Giving up too soon. The ultimate defeat. Giving up too soon is the one thing that guarantees failure. It's the ultimate defeat. Not because you weren't capable, not because success wasn't possible, but because you chose to stop before you saw what was on the other side. Most people don't fail because they aren't good enough. They fail because they quit when things got hard. They give up when they don't see quick results. They walk away when the struggle becomes uncomfortable. And that's why so many never reach their true potential. They stop digging when they're just inches away from gold. Think about how many times in your life you've started something with excitement, with a determination, with a vision in your mind of where you wanted to be. You had the energy, you had the motivation, but then things didn't move as fast as you hoped. The results weren't immediate. The obstacles appeared, and instead of pushing through, instead of staying the course, you stopped. You convinced yourself it wasn't meant to be. You told yourself it was too hard, and you walked away. And then what happened? You looked back weeks, months, maybe even years later, and you realized you could have made it. You could have figured it out. You could have been so much further ahead if only you had kept going. But you didn't. And that regret, that feeling of knowing you let go too soon, is worse than any failure. Because failure at least teaches you something. Failure means you tried. But giving up, that's a choice. That's choosing to let your own doubts, your own frustrations, your own impatience rob you of what could have been yours. Most people never realize how close they are when they give up. They think they're still miles away from success, when in reality they were just one more step, one more try, one more day of effort, away from a breakthrough. The ones who win in life are not the smartest. They're not the luckiest. They're the ones who refuse to quit. They're the ones who push through the frustration, the boredom, the slow progress, the setbacks. They don't stop when things get tough. They keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps. And the truth is, success is not about making giant leaps all the time. It's about consistency. It's about showing up, day after day, even when you don't feel like it, even when the progress is slow, even when you doubt yourself, even when no one is watching, no one is cheering, and no one believes in you yet. Because the ones who keep going, the ones who refuse to let temporary failure define them, those are the ones who make it. Giving up too soon is like planting a seed and then walking away before it has time to grow. Imagine if a farmer planted his crops, and after a few weeks when he didn't see results, he just gave up. He stopped watering the plants. He stopped tending the soil. He walked away, convinced it wasn't working. But what he didn't see was that just beneath the surface, the roots were growing. The foundation was being built. And if he had just kept going, if he had just kept nurturing what he started, the harvest would have come. That's exactly how success works. It doesn't always show up right away. Sometimes it takes longer than you expect. Sometimes it feels like nothing is happening, but something is always happening. Progress is being made, even if you can't see it yet. Every small effort, every day you stay committed, every time you refuse to quit, it all adds up. And one day, all that work, all that struggle, all that persistence will pay off. But most people never get to see that moment, because they give up right before it happens, right before the breakthrough, right before the momentum kicks in. And that's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's the willingness to keep going, even when it feels pointless. even when the results aren't coming fast enough. So if you're thinking about giving up, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're telling yourself it's not working, stop. Ask yourself, what if you're closer than you think? What if the only thing standing between you and your goal is your own impatience? What if all you need to do is keep going, just a little longer? Because the truth is, every great success story has a moment where quitting seemed like the easiest option. Every person who has ever achieved something significant has faced that moment where they questioned whether it was worth it. But they didn't stop. They didn't let temporary difficulties turn into permanent defeat. They chose to keep moving forward. And if you do the same, if you make the choice to keep going, even when it's hard, even when you feel like nothing is working, even when the doubt creeps in, you will win. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. But if you refuse to quit, success is inevitable. Because the only real failure is giving up too soon. Everything else is just part of the process. Number 5. Your biggest problem. You think you have time. Most people walk through life like they have all the time in the world. They put things off. They wait for the right moment. They assume tomorrow is guaranteed. So they keep making excuses, keep delaying their dreams, keep telling themselves, I'll start when I'm ready. But here's the harsh truth. There is no perfect moment. There is no right time. And the biggest mistake you can make is believing that you have more time than you actually do. Look around. How many people do you know who always talk about what they're going to do, but never actually do it? They have big ideas, big dreams, big plans, but they keep waiting. Waiting for more motivation, waiting for more confidence, waiting until life slows down, until the conditions are perfect, until they feel ready, and years go by. And nothing changes. Because they wasted the one thing they could never get back. Time. People don't fail because they aren't talented. They don't fail because they don't have opportunities. They fail because they never get started. They waste their years believing they'll always have more. They assume they can start tomorrow, next week, next year. But what happens? Life gets in the way. Responsibilities pile up. Fear creeps in. They get comfortable in their routine. And suddenly that one day never comes. The saddest thing in life is watching people realize too late that they ran out of time. They look back with regret, wishing they had been bolder, wishing they had taken more risks, wishing they had started sooner. And that's the reality most people don't want to face. Time is slipping away whether you like it or not. Every second you waste, every day you put things off, is a day you will never get back. You have to stop thinking you have time, because when you believe you do, you don't act with urgency. You don't push yourself. You take it easy, thinking you can do it later. And that's exactly why most people never achieve their full potential. The ones who win in life, the ones who make things happen, they don't wait. They don't tell themselves they have time. They act like every day counts, because it does. Think about it. What if you only had 6 months left to achieve your dreams? Would you still waste time? Would you still make excuses? Would you still scroll through social media for hours? Sit around watching meaningless content? Avoid taking action because it's uncomfortable? No. You would move. You would take risks. You would stop worrying about what people think. You would do whatever it takes. Because suddenly time would feel real to you. But here's the thing. You don't need a deadline hanging over your head to start taking life seriously. You just need to realize that every day you let slip away is a day you'll never get back. Every opportunity you ignore, every skill you could have learned, every moment you could have used to build your future, it's all being wasted if you don't take action now. Most people think they're going to live forever. They don't actually believe it, but they act like it. They think there's always going to be more time to fix their bad habits, to work on their goals, to change their lives. But life doesn't work that way. And the people who understand that, the people who truly realize that their time is limited, those are the ones who live with intensity. They don't just talk about what they're going to do. They do it. They take risks. They make moves. Because they understand that if they don't, no one else is going to do it for them. The biggest difference between people who succeed and people who don't is not intelligence, not money, not luck. It's urgency. The successful ones don't wait for the perfect moment. They start when they don't feel ready. They take action even when they're scared. They know that time is their most valuable asset, and they refuse to waste it. If you keep telling yourself you'll start tomorrow, next week, next year, just stop. Be honest with yourself. How many times have you already told yourself that? How many opportunities have you already let slip by because you thought you had more time? And where has that gotten you? If you're still in the same place, still stuck, still waiting, then it's time to wake up. You don't have forever. And if you don't start now, when will you? If you don't take action today, what makes you think you'll suddenly do it tomorrow? Nothing changes until you decide it will. Nothing happens until you make it happen. You have to stop assuming that time is on your side, because one day you'll wake up and realize it's not. So whatever it is you've been putting off, starting that business, getting in shape, fixing your habits, chasing your dream, start now. Stop waiting. Stop thinking you have more time. The clock is ticking, and the only way to make sure you don't run out of time with regrets is to start living like time actually matters. Number 6. Your mind believes whatever you tell it. So be careful what you say. Your mind is always listening. Every single thought you have, every single word you speak to yourself, it all gets absorbed. And the more you repeat something, the more your mind starts to believe it. Most people don't realize this, but your brain doesn't question what you tell it. It just accepts it. It doesn't know the difference between what's true and what's just a thought you keep repeating. It takes what you feed it and makes it your reality. That's why what you say to yourself every day matters more than you think. If you keep telling yourself you're not good enough, guess what? Your mind believes it. If you keep saying you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not lucky enough, your brain takes that as truth. And the more you say it, the deeper it gets wired into your identity. It becomes who you are, not because it's true, but because you've trained your mind to believe it. People sabotage their own lives without even realizing it. They tell themselves, I can't do this, I'll never be successful. I'm not the kind of person who wins, and then they wonder why nothing ever changes for them. But how could it? If you're feeding your mind negative beliefs every day, how can you expect to succeed? You've programmed yourself to fail before you've even tried. Your thoughts are the foundation of everything in your life. Your success, your confidence, your happiness, it all starts in your mind. And if your mind is filled with negativity, filled with doubt, filled with limitations, then no amount of talent, no amount of hard work, no amount of external motivation will be enough to push you forward. Because your own mind is working against you. Think about how powerful that is. Your thoughts shape your actions. Your actions shape your results. And your results shape your life. It all starts with what you tell yourself. If you want to change your life, you have to change the way you talk to yourself. You have to stop feeding your mind excuses. Stop reinforcing negative beliefs. Stop giving power to the thoughts that are keeping you stuck. You see, confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And the way you build it is by changing the way you talk to yourself. If you start telling yourself, I can do this, I am capable, I deserve success, your brain will start to believe it. And when your mind believes something, you act differently. You carry yourself differently. You make decisions differently. And that changes everything. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about reprogramming your mind to support you, instead of working against you. If you've spent years filling your mind with self-doubt and negativity, of course it's going to take time to shift. But every time you catch yourself thinking something negative, you have a choice. You can either accept it and let it control you, or you can replace it with something better. Imagine if, instead of telling yourself you're not good enough, you started saying, I am getting better every day. Instead of saying, I'm not lucky, you said, I create my own opportunities. Instead of saying, I can't do this, you said, I am capable of learning and growing. These small shifts may not seem like much at first, but over time they rewire your mind. They build a new belief system. And once your mind believes in you, nothing can stop you. Most people never do this work. They let their negative thoughts run on autopilot. They assume that the way they think is just the way it is. But that's not true. You can change your mindset. You can take control of your thoughts. And when you do, your entire life changes. The problem is, too many people spend their lives repeating the wrong things. They tell themselves they're not good enough because someone in their past made them feel that way. They believe they'll never be successful because they've failed before. They hold on to old stories, old labels, old limitations, and they don't even realize that they're the ones keeping themselves stuck. But you don't have to live like that. You don't have to be a prisoner of your own mind. You can choose new thoughts. You can decide right now that you're going to start speaking to yourself differently, that you're going to stop reinforcing the things that are holding you back, and start feeding your mind the kind of beliefs that will push you forward. This isn't some vague motivational concept. This is science. Your brain is constantly creating new neural pathways based on what you focus on. The more you think something, the stronger that pathway becomes. If you constantly tell yourself negative things, those thoughts become automatic. But if you start feeding your mind positive, empowering beliefs, those become automatic instead. And once your mind is wired for success, success becomes inevitable. You start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. You start taking action instead of making excuses. You start believing in yourself in a way that changes how you show up in the world. So pay attention to what you're telling yourself every day. Because whether you realize it or not, your words are shaping your future. Your mind is always listening, and whatever you tell it, it believes. Number 7, you're not lazy. You just have weak priorities. You're not lazy. You've got more potential than you even realize. But there's something that's holding you back. It's not a lack of motivation. It's not that you don't want to change, and it's not because you're incapable. The real issue is that you've got weak priorities. And when your priorities are weak, your actions will follow suit. Let me tell you something. This isn't about being lazy. I know what it feels like to be stuck in a rut, to feel like you're not getting anywhere, even when you want to. But being stuck isn't about being lazy. It's about not putting your energy into the things that matter most. It's about not understanding that everything you do is a reflection of what you value. And if you're not where you want to be, if things aren't progressing the way you want them to, it's because somewhere along the way your priorities have slipped. Think about your day for a moment. What do you spend the most time on? Where do your thoughts go? When you wake up, what's the first thing you focus on? Is it the most important task of the day? Or is it something that's just filling time, not moving you any closer to your goals? If you're not putting your energy into the things that truly matter, you're wasting your time. And that's what weak priorities do. They distract you. They keep you busy, but they don't move you forward. Let's be real here for a second. You can't complain about not having the life you want if you're spending hours scrolling on social media or binge-watching shows. If you're putting your time into things that don't bring you closer to your goals, then you're just drifting through life. You're letting your time slip away. And that's where the real problem lies. It's not about laziness. It's about misplaced focus. You're not lazy. You're just not prioritizing the right things. Think about it. If you truly valued your goals, if you truly believed in your potential, you would treat every day like an opportunity to make progress. You'd stop wasting time on things that don't matter. But somewhere along the way, we all get distracted. We all get caught up in the noise. And that's when our priorities get weak. Your priorities are like the compass that guides your life. When they're strong and clear, everything aligns. But when they're weak, you get lost. You start chasing things that seem urgent, but aren't important. You get sidetracked by things that are easy, but don't lead anywhere. And before you know it, time has passed, and you've made little to no progress. That's when frustration sets in. That's when you start thinking you're lazy, but you're not. You're just not focused on the right things. Let me give you a simple example. If your goal is to get fit, but you're spending more time sitting on the couch than working out, what does that say about your priorities? If you value your health, you'll make the time for it. You'll plan for it. It'll be a non-negotiable part of your day. But if it's not your priority, then everything else will take precedence. Your work, your entertainment, your social life, and fitness will always be pushed to the back burner. That's a weak priority. Now, it's not enough to just recognize that your priorities are weak. You have to do something about it. You have to actively make a change. It's time to ask yourself what truly matters. What are the things that, if you spent more time on, would push you closer to the life you want? What would happen if you gave those things your full attention and energy? What could you accomplish if you stopped letting distractions take over your day? Here's the hard truth. You have the same amount of time as everyone else. It's not about having more time. It's about using the time you have more wisely. Every single day you get to decide what's worth your focus and what isn't. If you want to get ahead, if you want to change your life, you have to make your goals and dreams the priority. And that starts with putting your time and energy into them consistently. I know it's not always easy. Life has a way of throwing distractions your way, but you've got to get to the point where you stop letting those distractions control you. You've got to make your dreams stronger than your excuses. You've got to stop letting the little things, social media, TV, small distractions, steal your time. The moment you realize that your time is the most valuable resource you have, everything will change. Because when you prioritize what matters, you'll start to see results. And those results will drive you forward. They'll push you to keep going, to keep making better decisions every single day. And when you start to make those better decisions, your life will start to shift. You'll feel more motivated. You'll feel more energized. You'll feel proud of yourself for making the right choices. And little by little, you'll build momentum. That's how change happens. Not by making a big leap overnight, but by making small, consistent choices that add up over time. The truth is, if you've been feeling stuck or unmotivated, it's not because you're lazy. It's because your priorities haven't been aligned with your goals. It's time to fix that. So take a moment and really think about it. What are your priorities right now? Are they in line with the life you want to create? If they're not, then it's time to make a shift. Start small. Identify one area of your life where you need to focus more, whether it's health, work, relationships, or personal growth. Pick one thing and make it your priority. And then every day, put time into it. No more excuses, no more distractions. Put in the work and make that thing non-negotiable. When you start focusing on what truly matters, you'll find that laziness isn't even a factor anymore. You won't have time to be lazy because you'll be busy doing the things that push you forward. You'll be creating the life you want, and that's what's going to keep you motivated. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for motivation to magically appear. Start making your priorities clear and take action. That's how you stop being stuck, and that's how you start moving toward the future you deserve. Number 8. The people you spend time with shape your future. The people you spend time with have more influence on your future than you might think. And no, I'm not just talking about your family or close friends. I'm talking about the people you allow into your daily life. The ones you engage with regularly, the ones you listen to, laugh with, and learn from. They shape your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. You might think that you're the one in control of your life, and in many ways you are. But the reality is that the energy around you, the conversations you have, and the people you surround yourself with are shaping the direction you're headed in more than you realize. We all have dreams, don't we? Big dreams, small dreams, personal dreams, professional dreams. But let me tell you something that most people don't fully understand. Your environment is a massive factor in whether or not those dreams come to fruition. And a key part of that environment is the people you choose to spend your time with. You've heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, there's truth to that. Think about the people in your life right now. Who do you talk to the most? Who do you go to for advice? Who do you hang out with when you're not working? Do they inspire you? Do they challenge you to be better? Do they encourage you to chase your dreams and grow as a person? Or do they pull you down, fill your head with doubt, and keep you stuck in the same place? You see, your future isn't just about what you do on your own. It's about the energy you bring into your life and the energy that other people bring into it. Have you ever noticed that after spending time with certain people, you either feel energized or completely drained? The people you spend your time with influence your mindset. They affect your attitude, your motivation, and even the way you see the world. If you're constantly around people who are negative, who don't believe in you, or who never push themselves to grow, then guess what? You'll start adopting those same attitudes and beliefs. You'll start limiting yourself, and before you know it, your dreams will feel like they're out of reach. But the reverse is true too. When you surround yourself with people who are positive, driven, and successful, you'll begin to adopt their mindset. You'll begin to see possibilities where you once saw barriers. You'll start to believe that your dreams are within reach, because the people around you are actively pursuing their own dreams and succeeding. You'll start to see how the habits of successful people can be replicated and incorporated into your own life. The people you spend time with don't just influence your mindset, they influence your behavior. Think about it: if your circle of friends is all about going out, partying, and wasting time, what are you doing with your time? You're following the crowd. But if your circle of friends is all about working hard, setting goals, and improving every day, then that's the behavior you'll start mirroring. Success is contagious, so is failure. And unfortunately, people often don't realize how much of an impact those around them have until it's too late. You might be thinking, but I don't want to just cut people off. I get it. You don't have to be harsh about it. But you do have to make conscious decisions about who you allow to have space in your life. If someone is constantly dragging you down, constantly pulling you away from your goals, and constantly telling you why something can't be done, then that person is not serving you. You don't have to get rid of them completely, but you do need to be aware of how much influence they have over your time and energy. This doesn't mean you should only surround yourself with people who are already where you want to be. It's not about finding people who are successful in the exact same way you want to be successful. It's about finding people who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be better than you were yesterday. It's about finding people who believe in your potential and who encourage you to go after your dreams. It's about having people around you who will lift you up when you're down and remind you of your worth when you start to doubt yourself. And here's the thing: as you start to surround yourself with people who are aligned with your goals, you'll start noticing changes in yourself. You'll feel more confident, more motivated, and more focused. Your mindset will shift from scarcity to abundance, from fear to action, from hesitation to determination. You'll find yourself taking bold steps toward your dreams, because you're no longer surrounded by people who make you feel small or limited. You're surrounded by people who believe that anything is possible, and who are living proof that dreams can come true. But it's not just about the people you spend time with now, it's about the people you're going to meet in the future. The connections you make, the mentors you seek out, the relationships you build, they will play a massive role in shaping your future. The right people will open doors for you, introduce you to new opportunities, and give you the guidance and support you need to move forward. And let's not forget about the people who are watching you, the people who are looking up to you, who see your journey, and are inspired by the way you show up in the world. You are setting an example every single day. Your actions, your attitude, your work ethic, they speak volumes to the people around you. They might not say it, but they are watching. They are taking note of how you handle adversity, how you push through challenges, and how you stay focused on your goals. That's why it's so important to surround yourself with the right people. You never know who is watching, who is inspired by your journey, and who might need your support along the way. You are shaping the future not only for yourself, but for others as well. And when you surround yourself with people who are aligned with your values and your goals, you create a ripple effect. You inspire those around you, and they inspire others in return. It's a cycle of growth, success, and positivity that can change not just your life, but the lives of the people you care about. So here's the challenge. Take a good look at the people you spend time with. Are they encouraging you to grow, to chase your dreams, and to become the best version of yourself? Are they supporting you, challenging you, and inspiring you? If not, it's time to make some changes. It's time to surround yourself with people who elevate you, people who challenge you, and people who believe in your potential. Because the people you spend time with will shape your future. So make sure they're helping you create the future you want. Number 9. Your mind repeats what you feed it every day. The mind is a powerful thing. It's like a garden. Whatever seeds you plant in it, you're going to harvest. And if you're not careful, the wrong seeds will sprout, and you'll find yourself in a place you never intended to be. Every day, we're feeding our minds with information, emotions, and experiences. And what happens? Our minds start to repeat what we've been feeding them. So let me ask you, what are you feeding your mind? It's easy to overlook the power of our thoughts. We go about our days thinking that the things we tell ourselves don't matter all that much. But here's the truth. They matter more than you think. Your thoughts create your reality. The way you see yourself, the way you see the world, and even the way you react to the challenges in your life. all start with the things you feed your mind. Think about it. If you're constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that your dreams are out of reach, your mind will start to believe it. It will repeat those thoughts over and over again until they become your reality. And here's the kicker. This isn't just something that happens occasionally. It's happening every single day. Whether you realize it or not, the more you feed your mind negative thoughts, doubts, and insecurities, the more it starts to believe them. And the more it believes them, the more it shapes your behavior, your decisions, and your outcomes. It's a vicious cycle, but here's the good news. You have the power to change it. Just like you can feed your mind with negativity, you can also feed it with positivity, with strength, and with confidence. Every day you have the opportunity to plant seeds in your mind that will grow into the kind of thoughts that propel you forward, that push you to take action, and that help you reach your goals. The choice is yours. What do you want to feed your mind today? Let's think about the things we consume every day. We're constantly exposed to information, whether it's through social media, news outlets, or even just conversations we have with the people around us. And the thing is, not all of that information is healthy. In fact, a lot of it is toxic. We're bombarded with negativity, fear, and doubt. We hear about failures. We see people criticizing others, and we're constantly told about the worst-case scenarios. The news is full of stories that make us feel anxious, helpless, and afraid. Social media often shows us the highlight reels of other people's lives, making us feel inadequate or like we're missing out. But here's the thing, you don't have to let that negativity seep into your mind. You can be selective about what you allow in. You can choose to focus on the things that uplift you, that inspire you, and that remind you of what's possible. It's all about the filter you put in place. If you're constantly filling your mind with the latest gossip, the latest drama, or the latest tragedy, then that's all your mind will have to work with. But if you make a conscious effort to feed your mind with things that encourage growth, positivity, and inspiration, then that's what your mind will begin to focus on. Your mind is like a sponge. It soaks up everything around you, and it doesn't always distinguish between what's good for you and what's not. That's why it's so important to be intentional about what you feed it. If you want to start believing in your potential, start feeding your mind with thoughts of possibility. If you want to start taking action, feed your mind with the idea that you are capable, that you have the power to make things happen. If you want to achieve your goals, feed your mind with success stories, with quotes that motivate you, and with daily affirmations that remind you of your worth. What you feed your mind becomes your reality. If you want to be successful, you need to fill your mind with thoughts of success. If you want to be confident, you need to feed your mind with positive affirmations about your abilities. If you want to be happy, you need to feed your mind with gratitude and joy. It's not just about wishing for a better life. It's about programming your mind to believe that a better life is possible. And it all starts with the thoughts you choose to entertain. And here's the thing, it's not just about feeding your mind once in a while. This is something you have to do every day. Every day you have the opportunity to choose what you feed your mind. You can choose to start your day with negative thoughts, or you can choose to start it with positive ones. You can spend your time scrolling through social media, consuming content that makes you feel bad about yourself, or you can spend that same time reading something that motivates you, that challenges you, or that helps you grow. The small decisions you make every day add up. They become the foundation of your mindset, and your mindset is everything. If you're constantly feeding your mind with doubts, fears, and limitations, that's what you'll see in your life. But if you're feeding your mind with confidence, possibility, and strength, that's what you'll see too. The more you practice feeding your mind with positive, empowering thoughts, the more natural it will become. Soon your mind will begin to automatically seek out the positive, and you'll start to see your life change in ways you never thought possible. The truth is, most people don't realize just how powerful their minds are. They don't realize that the thoughts they entertain today are shaping their tomorrow. They think that their circumstances are what determine their future. But the reality is that it's their thoughts, their beliefs, and their mindset that hold the true power. If you can change the way you think, you can change the way you live. So let me ask you again, what are you feeding your mind today? Because your mind will repeat what you feed it. And the more you feed it with positivity, growth, and possibility, the more you'll start to see that reflected in your life. Your mind is your most powerful tool. Don't waste it by feeding it with the wrong things. Take control of what you feed your mind, and watch as it transforms your life. Number 10. If you don't face your fears, they will keep controlling you. Fear is one of those things we all deal with, whether we acknowledge it or not. It's the silent force that keeps so many people stuck, keeps them from living the life they want to live. You can try to avoid it, run from it, hide behind excuses. But let me tell you something. Fear is going to chase you down until you face it. And if you don't face it, it will control you. It will control every move you make, every decision, and every opportunity you let slip through your fingers. The longer you avoid your fears, the longer you give them the power to shape your life. We've all been there, right? That feeling that something is holding you back. A feeling deep down that there's something you should be doing. But that fear inside keeps pushing you in the other direction. It's easy to brush it off, to think, maybe I'll just deal with it tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. The fear doesn't disappear. It only grows stronger. And the longer you let it sit there, the more control it has over you. Let me tell you this. Fear has a funny way of sneaking up on you, making you think you're in control. But really, it's quietly pulling the strings. It's the thing that keeps you up at night. The reason you procrastinate. The reason you don't take risks. And when you keep pushing it aside, ignoring it, it doesn't just go away. No, it lingers, festers, and eventually it will define the boundaries of your life. You'll find yourself living a life you never chose, trapped by the things you never had the courage to face. Now, here's the kicker. Fear isn't even real. It's just a story your mind tells you, a projection of what might happen, most of which is far from the truth. But when you let that story take control, it becomes real in your life. Your mind starts to believe it, your body starts to react to it, and your entire world begins to shrink. You think you're protecting yourself from failure, but in reality, you're just creating a bigger cage around your potential. The longer you avoid facing that fear, the bigger that cage gets, until eventually, it feels like you're stuck, unable to move. You convince yourself that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, that the time isn't right, and before you know it, years have passed. The fear that you didn't face has now defined the life you're living, and the opportunities you let slip away can never be reclaimed. So how do you break out of this? How do you stop letting fear control you? The answer is simple, but it's not easy. You have to face it head on. You have to stare it down, look it in the eye, and step forward anyway. It's not about eliminating fear. That's not possible. Fear is a natural part of life. It's a survival mechanism that's been with us since the dawn of time. But it's also something you can control if you choose to. Instead of letting fear dictate your actions, let it drive you. Use it as fuel. If you're afraid to take that step forward, that's exactly what you need to do. The more you avoid something, the bigger and more intimidating it becomes. But the moment you take that first step, you'll see that the fear was never as big as you imagined. It's just a shadow. And once you confront it, it starts to fade away. Think about the most successful people you know, the ones who have achieved great things. Do you think they never felt fear? Of course they did. The difference is that they didn't let it stop them. They didn't allow fear to decide their future for them. They took risks. They put themselves in uncomfortable situations. They knew that growth happens outside of their comfort zone. And let me tell you something. Every single person who has ever achieved anything worth achieving has faced their fears. Every person who has become successful has had to step into the unknown, knowing that failure was a possibility. But they kept going anyway. Why? Because they knew that success was on the other side of fear. And the fear they were feeling wasn't a sign to stop. It was a sign to keep going. Facing your fears is the key to unlocking the life you truly want. It's where your personal growth happens. It's where your true potential lies. Fear will keep you stuck in mediocrity, but courage will set you free. Think about the opportunities you've let slip by because you were afraid. How many chances did you miss because you didn't want to fail, or because you were afraid of what people might think? What would have happened if you'd stepped into those moments with courage instead of fear? You can't change the past, but you can change the future. The next time fear shows up, don't run from it. Walk straight into it. Know that on the other side of that fear is everything you've ever wanted. Remember, fear is not the enemy. It's the absence of action that is. It's the decision to let fear control you, instead of taking charge of your own life. When you make the choice to face your fears, you take back your power. You stop letting fear define your limits, and you start defining your own. It's not easy, but it's necessary. And the sooner you realize that the only way to truly overcome fear is to act in spite of it, the sooner you'll start living the life you were always meant to live. So don't let fear be the thing that holds you back. Don't let it be the thing that keeps you from reaching your dreams. Every day you put off facing your fears is a day you're giving your power away. Take it back. Step into your greatness. Embrace the challenges and keep moving forward. You are stronger than you think, and the life you want is waiting for you on the other side of fear. Don't let it slip away because you were too afraid to take the first step. Step into your power today and face your fears head on. It's the only way to truly live the life you deserve. At the end of the day, everything comes down to one simple truth. Your mind is either working for you or against you. The thoughts you allow, the habits you build, the people you surround yourself with, and the fears you refuse to face, all of these things shape your future. The real battle is not with the world outside, it's with the enemy inside. And the moment you take control of that enemy, everything changes. You don't need more time. You don't need better circumstances. You don't need someone to come and save you. What you need is to stop waiting, stop overthinking, and start taking action. Because if you don't, the same doubts, the same fears, and the same excuses will keep running your life. And years from now, you'll look back and realize you stayed stuck. Not because you weren't capable, but because you let your mind convince you that you weren't. But that doesn't have to be your story. You can rewrite your future starting today. Take control of your thoughts. Challenge your excuses. Change your habits. Because the moment you do, everything else will follow. Your mind can be your greatest weapon, but only if you train it to be. The choice is yours. Now go and make it happen.